Welcome back to the channel. I'm Luther, the Self-Image Alchemist, and in this video I want to talk about how to manifest in a pinch. All right, I mentioned it a little bit in my last video, and here's that video. So what I mean by in a pinch, I mean like when you don't have a lot of time, when you want to manifest something like really quickly. Will it work for quote unquote big things? Yeah, it probably would. The likelihood of you being able to pull that off, it's very slim, but it is possible. So, and this is a technique that you can use to manifest anything if you want extremely fast. And the steps I'm going to list, it just make more sense once I give you the steps. All right, so let me just tell you the story really quickly, and I try to keep this video pretty short. So a few years ago, this is like 2023, right? I was working this job. I got home. I live with family, and I usually have that outdoor space to myself because no one really goes down there. When I get out of work, I love to unwind. Sometimes I need that because working a job, especially during that period, and wherever I work, a 9-to-5 job, it just eats at my fucking soul. Like I just can't. I just can't, man. So this time it was really hard for me in my life. This is like 2023, working a job. Everything else was fine. It's just working. I don't know. Anyway, it ate my soul. So when I came home, I needed, or at least I felt like I needed that time to unwind to myself, the fresh air, to just breathe in. So it was a big deal for me. It was a big desire for me. So I get home. I usually get home. I got, take a shower and do all the things, get comfortable, and I'm about to go outside like I normally do, right? Same time, around the same time every day, like clockwork. I get out there, family members out there, set up shop. It's the table, because you just have a table underneath the canopy and everything, right? Not the canopy, but the it's like a patio, so underneath the patio. He has the table out, the table's uncovered from the tarp, tools everywhere, stuff on the ground. The chairs all, I mean, it was a mess. My God, it was a mess. And I'm just like, and I can't even get mad, but I was super irritated. I was so annoyed, and I'm just like, man. So I go back in and I close the door, and I was like, you know what? Manifest is supposed to work. It should work at any given time. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to test this. I had the intention, like, I'm going to test this, right? And I wanted to see. So I did what I did. So I came in, closed my eyes, right? And before I even did that, I glanced at the time. Did I glance at the time at that point? No, I didn't glance at the time at that time. But I did, because I didn't even know what time it was. But I knew it wasn't 6 p.m. and that's going to be important later. So I immediately closed my eyes and like, fine, we're going to test this. So I did the steps. I sat there and I closed my eyes and I imagined a scene that would be true if I had that desire. So if I were outside, what would be true? Like, what would I be doing? And I thought for this for a second or two, and I'm like, damn, like, what would I be doing? And I was like, well, duh, I'd just be looking at my phone. So how do I imagine that? I just imagine myself looking at the phone. But how do I make it feel real? And I was like, you know what? I need an element of realness to it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make myself feel good, but I'm also going to look at the time. So the time that I wanted was 6 p.m. That's the time I'm usually out there anyway. So I was like, fine, 6 p.m. At this time, I don't know what time it was, to be honest with you, right? So I'm not going to make something up, but I don't know what time it was just yet. So, but I imagined 6 p.m. and I was like, yeah, I'm usually out there at 6 p.m. So I'm holding my phone, looking at it, and in my imagination, it took probably about 15, maybe like 20, 30 seconds to really like feel it real. And what I mean by feeling it real is just being satisfied with whatever you envisioned, right? And that's really all it is. And I was satisfied. So I was like, all right, that's good. Imagine leaning against the railing, looking at my phone, 6 p.m. I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's good, right? And I came in, I was like, it's going to happen. If it happens today, it's static. It worked, right? If not, then it'll definitely happen sometime in the near future. And I was okay with that. I was okay with it not happening today. I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to be able to go outside, whatever. just moving on, right? And I gave up. I was like, because it was so much mess out there. It was no way. I just didn't see it happening. But I'm always open to the possibility, and I did my imaginal act. And that's all I can do. I can't go out there and physically remove the person. So I was like, all right, whatever. I was done with it. I was like, it is what it is. Happens today. If not, whatever. Come in. I tried to find something else that also make me feel good and help me unwind, which is watching something really entertaining, something that appeases that my curiosity. So I actually ended up finding. I never forget it. I ended up finding 3 things to watch. So I was super excited. So I got comfortable, got myself ready to watch it, and I hear a bunch of commotion, and I'm trying to figure out like what is like going on, and I hear that same family member come downstairs. I'm like, what? And I can clearly hear that they're about to leave. They're like grabbing things and leaving. And not only that person, but everyone else in the house as well, which I wouldn't find out till later. But everyone in the house had left. And I'm like, what? So at that point, before I started like looking for shows, at that point, it was around 5:57 p.m. Right? So once after I said, screw it, it's probably not going to happen. And I came in, before I even sat down and looking for the shows, it was 5:57 p.m. So I'm like, cool. So I'm sitting there at 5:57 p.m. I don't know what, I don't know. I just wanted to look at the time randomly. I don't know. I need to know what time it was. So I started watching the shows. I noticed them come down. I noticed everyone leave. I didn't know everyone left. I just noticed that one person that left. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I like, you know what? Let me take a peek outside. I look, I ain't see nobody. So I grab my shoes. I'm like, all right. So I go outside and, I get to enjoy that time. And the first second I got myself comfortable outside, I leaned against the railing and I looked down at my phone. Sure enough, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. on the dot. I was like, holy shit. I was blown away. I was like, wow. Right? I stopped immediately. I was like, hold up, let me go see. So I come in. I don't know. I got a little excited. I was like, I came in and I was like, hold up. So I went up there to see what was going on and why they left so abruptly. I didn't find out till like weeks later. I actually asked them like, hey, where'd you guys go that day? And I'll tell you in a second. But when I came in to look to see like why they left so abruptly, everyone was gone. Like I not only had my space to myself outside, I had the entire house to myself, which is extremely rare. I'm just like, I was like, wow, the universe over delivered on this one, and it was no effort. I didn't do anything other than what I just did, and some people may chalk that up as coincidence, but after so many coincidences, like how many coincidences is it going to take for you to realize that there's something more here at play? There's something more happening. You know what I mean? And this is one of those instances where it was clear that I had done something. People were moved. Like, where did they go? My cousin ended up calling, and he didn't have a car at that time, and he called and he needed a ride someplace. So they all left, and they needed to go run errands at the same time too. So they ended up leaving, taking him where he needed to go, and just ended up running errands. So I had the house to myself for a few hours actually, which again is extremely rare. So that was kind of crazy, and I was just like, what? That actually worked. So, and I love that story so much. I ended up making an Instagram post about it. I don't think I still have the Instagram post up, unfortunately. It may be like archived or something. And it's kind of been on the shelf until today. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. But I have done those things, and I've done that a few times actually in other situations that I probably didn't document as well as this story. But it works, right? So without further ado, let's just go through the steps to break down actually what I did, and then you can use this. So the first thing is I noticed my desire, basically. I needed fresh air. I named it. I got clarity on it. That's what I wanted. I wanted space to myself. I wanted time and space to myself. I did not want to be around any other human beings. I wanted my space to myself. That was the desire. How I verbalized it, I really just wanted to be outside, but internally I wanted space to myself. I ended up getting it, right? That was the first thing. That was step one, and I'll timestamp this. So that was step one. If this is on TikTok, unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to timestamp it. I don't even know how I would do it on TikTok, but if you're on YouTube, this is definitely timestamped, so you can just come right back to this. So if you're on TikTok, sorry, can't timestamp it. I try to figure it out. I try to figure it out for you guys. So step one, notice the desire, all right? Step two, I time-stamped the problem. Like, I wanted to see where I was. I took notice of where I was in my reality, in my circumstances, versus where I wanted to be. So after I noticed what I wanted and where I was, I noticed all the things that they had outside. I noticed the time. That was the second thing I did, right? Simple. Third thing I did is I kind of had this intuition, this insight to, like, you know what, let me test manifestation. I want to test it, right? Some of this playful attitude came in. I followed my intuition and I was like, you know what, let me just test it right now, right? So that was the third thing I did. The fourth thing I did is I went on into imagine. I created this mental image, me outside leaning on the railing, looking at my phone at 6 p.m. All right, that was me. That was me trying to figure out exactly what life would be like if I had that desire, and I found it. Right, I felt it. It felt good to me. And then I moved on. Number 5, I felt the outcome. You know, I briefly embodied it, and it felt good. It's just that simple. Step 6, right? I told myself, like, look, if it doesn't happen today, you know, it's going to happen. And I found myself okay without having it today. Like, I was like, all right, it's not gonna happen today, but it's gonna happen sometime in the future. And I know manifestation works because I just believe in it. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really tripping. I was like, it's gonna happen eventually. Like, it's whatever. I'm okay with it. I let go of having it, of the need to have it right in this moment. I was like, you know what? Even though it was a very short time period that this manifest, I was like, you know what? It's whatever. Like, I'm okay with not having it. Released so much resistance because I literally didn't even care anymore. It was crazy, right? So that was step 6. Step 7, I started to do something that'd make me feel just as good, if not better, maybe a little less, who knows, give or take. But I decided to, like, find something to do now that I wasn't able to do that. So what was I going to do? I found those things. I found those shows that I want to watch. I was excited about it. I was almost just excited about watching those, if not more, than I was about going outside, even though I felt like I needed that, right? And that's why the desire came from, because I made it somewhat important, not too important, not important enough that I couldn't let it go, but important enough for me to really desire it as a big desire, you know, a big desire, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was step 7, all right? I didn't try to, like, force anything to make it happen. I just got comfortable with not having it. 8, detach. I let go of how it would happen, if it would happen at all, right? And these 2 steps are kind of combined together. I'm just really separating everything. So I kind of was just like, screw it, you know, and I found something else to watch, right? I didn't care how it would happen, if it would happen, or when it would happen. All that was released, right? So I started watching TV, and my brain was just noticing little things happening, like commotion outside, commotion, and this is step 9, right? I'm receiving my desire, and it's unfolding around me. They're moving from outside, putting stuff away quickly, right? They came downstairs, got up. Just that was the indication to let me know that, hey, you have it. Like, they're leaving. And I was like, oh shit, I have it. That's when I went outside. This is the receiving process of what it can look like. Things start moving around you, and you start to get this intuition to go outside. And had I not had the thought to go outside, I would have never seen that. I would have never had known that. I would have missed out. But I didn't. I was in alignment. I was in alignment with all this. I was able to receive that, and come to find out, not just everyone was moved. I mean, not just me, I was moved, but everyone was moved. People who didn't even live in this house were moved to bring me my desire. Circumstances changed, right? Step 10. I noticed, I just covered that. My cousin called or what have you, and, you know, yeah, it was just all perfect timing. Like, after I received the desire, I kind of inquired about things just to see for myself, to kind of help my belief a little bit more. And it did, because I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. People will be moved to bring you your desire. And 11, the last step, and I kind of did this throughout the whole process, and this is gratitude and acknowledgement, right? The universe over-delivered. I just needed my space out there just for a moment. I got the entire house to myself. You can what? That's I wish I can explain to you how rare that is here. But I did. So it was it's pretty nice, you know? And I did all that within a matter of 3 minutes. I did it in 3 minutes. Like I came home, took a shower, did all that stuff. I seen it. I wanted to go out there. I was like, screw it. And I was like, you know what? Let me test it. Let me imagine something. I imagined it, sat down, was okay without it. I was like, fine, it'll happen today, tomorrow, whenever. I don't even care. I found something else. I moved on. I let go of that completely. Didn't over pedestalize it. I didn't make it important. And that's the title of my last video, by the way. So I decided, like, I'm just gonna find something to watch. Start watching it. Oh, I didn't even get a chance to watch it. I just found them. Like what I do, I would find like little shows, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this, 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 and this, and I would set it up. So I would sit down, and I didn't even get a chance to hit play when I heard the commotion and everything moving. That's how quick manifestation can happen. It's almost instant. People will be moved to bring you your desire. You just have to embody the feeling. First, you have to get clear, understand it, know it, get clear on what you want, and follow the steps. Like I said, I'll timestamp this, and I'll put them clear in whatchamacallit, but that was it. Real simple, and it worked. So anyway, I hope this story helped you, and I try to make a somewhat shorter videos like this for you guys, so you can, little bite-sized, little nuggets you can take with you on the go, something you can use or rewatch. And yeah, I hope this helps. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Again, all the links are in the description, my course, and to work with me closely one-on-one, not one-on-one, but in a group setting. I'm not doing one-on-ones, but in a group setting, only for special circumstances I do a one-on-one, but in a group setting, definitely check the links below. It is donation based. There is set prices, but it can be adjusted. Right now, I'm just doing donations for working with me, and just to make it more accessible to anyone who wants to come by. I don't know how long I'm gonna do it, but I'm doing it for now. So if this is where we part, I hope it helps.